How to accelerate momentum of transformation using yoga to embody the change you want. Why are so many people getting into yoga? With a busy life and many demands, both at work, home, and everywhere, it's very few times per day we get a break. If you think about it, most of us are on from the second we wake up to the second we fall asleep. Have you thought of using yoga to accelerate personal transformation? You may think, with so much activity already going on in our day, do we really need yoga? Yes, yoga is a different kind of activity. Personally, I had learned to meditate when I was in my teens, but I had not been introduced to yoga. First time I heard about yoga was when I hiked in Nepal many years ago, and in my travel group was a man and a woman who had been to India doing yoga prior to when they went to the hike in Nepal. Long story short, 2 years later, I went with a friend to my first yoga class because I was curious about it. I knew I had to de-stress and do more exercise, and I knew that meditation was practiced during yoga class. I was hooked. Coming out of that first class felt so good. I felt lighter and clearer, calmer. I couldn't explain it, but I knew I had to come back. Watch your transformation using yoga. Today, I'm a yoga teacher and I love sharing the transformational power of yoga with others, helping you to teaching you how you can return to that natural connection between body and mind. Of course, the best way to experience the power of yoga is to take a few yoga classes and then decide if yoga is for you. You may think that yoga is just another way of exercising in the traditional sense. You're in for so much more. If you're open to getting to know your body and your life force, your breath, in a different way than ever before, if you want to experience your body as one with you through connecting your breath with movement, and if you want to experience your inner emotional life, how it's linked to every little tightness you feel in your body, yoga is for you. Yoga is for transformation. So if you feel curious about starting a yoga practice, it's possible that you're also in a phase of transformation in your life. Many times the two go together, and naturally so. When you're going through a change in your life, you not only need to process what's happening in your mind, but your body needs to process the change as well. Embody your change. What does this mean? It builds on the concept of oneness. Your body is not as separate from your mind. So if you're going through changes, making choices that are right for you and taking action on them, your body will be part of that process as well. Every day you build up tension in your body. Maybe you got anxious about something and tension was built up in your body. Or maybe you had a great belly laugh and felt gratitude for having such great kids, and tension was released from your body at that time. In both experiences, your body was with you the entire time. Especially through change, we can feel fearful of the unknown. It expresses itself as worry, stress, and anxious feelings. The body knows fear. We have learned through the years to harbor fear in the body instead of letting it flow through. What that does to us long term is that we get sensitive to illness and external influences. When you're going through a change, the emotions you're having get translated into the body in terms of tension. Yoga teaches us to connect the mind with the body and release that built-up tension. So if you haven't tried yoga before, don't sweat. You don't have to go to buy yoga pants or sit cross-legged on the first day. You can start yoga today without the fancy stuff. Start yoga for your well-being. Here are a few tips to get you started with a mini yoga practice at work or home sitting on a chair. Even if you're an experienced yogi, these tips will get you back to basics. Number 1, being breath aware. The simplest meditation is to notice your breath. So tune into yourself with a 3-minute meditation, closing your eyes, noticing your breath. Every inhale and every exhale. Inhale deeply through the nose and hold the breath for 3 seconds. And release the breath completely through your mouth. Notice the energy in your body. Number 2, the shoulder release. So much tension is stored in the neck and shoulders. So draw your shoulders up to your ears and inhale deeply through the nose. And keep your eyes closed here. Hold your breath for a second and feel everything that's up for you. And then to release the shoulders down and back at the same time as you release your breath through the mouth. Repeat this 20 times or as long as you wish. Inhale and draw your shoulders up and exhale through the mouth. Drop the shoulders down and back. Inhale and hold your breath with lifted shoulders for 3 seconds. Release the breath through your mouth. Notice the energy in your body. So we're almost there. Here's the third practice. It's the neck roll. There's nothing better than a good neck roll. You feel like new. Draw your chin towards your chest and roll the head to the right, inhaling through the nose and lean your head back and around. Exhale as your chin is meeting the chest. Repeat the 10 rolls, then switch direction for another 10 rolls. So inhale and hold for 3 seconds and then release the breath through the mouth. So notice the energy in your body here. Number 4, the earth to sky stretch. Release your energy with this stretch anytime and feel the connection between the earth and the sky. Sit straight with a tall spine, feeling your seat. Inhale and exhale deeply and slowly. Place your left hand on the left side of your chair. Inhale and lift the right arm and hand up towards the ceiling. Look up towards that right hand and reach and extend. Exhale as the right hand comes down. Repeat on the other side. And then inhale both hands up and reach both hands towards the ceiling and hold the breath for 3 seconds with the arms straight up. And release the breath and the arms down. Notice the energy in your body. So do this practice for 40 days every day and move with your breath. Release your tension and feel the energy transformation of yoga practice. If you want to accelerate change in your life, yoga can help you to get the momentum and change you want. By embody your change, you're giving yourself the opportunity to release your fears for the unknown. Releasing the built-up tension from the day by staying present in your body and with your mind. Are you an overthinker? Someone who worries a lot? Are you someone who feels the monkey mind is always active? This is for you. You can always come back to the stillness that yoga provides you, your entire being, every day. What's holding you back from trying yoga? All right. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Ulrika.
Hey, thanks for joining me today. I have a great topic for us that has to do with yoga. And so I'm so excited you are joining me today for this conversation.
Me too.
So I wanted to kick off this conversation with a question. about how do you think yoga, the topic of today is really how to accelerate momentum of transformation when somebody is in a change, using yoga to embody the change you want. And if you think about that topic, how do you feel it's relevant to how we live our lives today in our modern world?
Oh my goodness. I can only speak for my change and my first yoga class versus where I am now. I truly believe it gives you tools, like a little collection of tools in your back pocket to draw from. The change for me was more in, I know this sounds weird. If you've never taken a yoga class, you're not going to connect with this, but the breath.
Yeah.
One of my first teachers, in talking about the breath, also explains that someday in your life, you will draw upon this breath, this slow, deep breath in and this slow, deep breath out. And she was spot on. And I've had some situations pop up in life where you feel like where normally I'd probably be a panic and react one way, where the breath just kicked in without, I just wasn't expecting it. And in the back of my head was, this is the breath that my teacher said was going to come to me when I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it slowed me down and, helped me think more rationally or with clarity than if I not had that experience with yoga, the breath.
That's beautiful. And how do you feel this could be relevant for somebody that's watching or listening this on this conversation today?
Well, we're probably all traveling at a fast speed right now. Everybody trying to make ends meet and get dinner on the table and deadline after deadline. I think it's something that we all have the ability to tap into, to slow ourselves down. That the pace will always be there, but if you experience it in a different way,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's not so much of a rush. You slow yourself down in a strange way so that you're present.
Yeah. Yeah, I experienced the same thing when I practice yoga. It's a very similar experience. Just that new experience with the breath coming into alongside movement, which is very different. So why, Karen, do you think that, yoga is becoming mainstream in today's world? A lot of people are getting into yoga. And why do you think that is?
Oh my gosh. I see so many students that come in with issues surrounding, life at a fast speed, stress and anxiety, lacking, and also physical, but beyond the anxiety and that sort of thing, but more some physical issues, back issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I do agree that there are more and more people going through yoga teacher training, and it's popping up everywhere, but I think there's enough of it for everyone out there. And isn't it rewarding when you have students that get up and walk out and they say, thank you for being here. I really needed this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say, what would be one of your recommendations? Because I know there may be women and men also, for that matter, out there that feel that yoga, they're curious about yoga, but they're hesitating. And what would be your recommendation for somebody that is listening to this right now that have had just that thought? And what would be,
if it's even a nugget of a thought in your brain, and it comes across your brain more than once, like many times, it's on your radar for a reason, right? So maybe you take a friend and you go together. If that's what it's going to take for you to go, bring a friend with you. You know, I had driven by a yoga studio, I can't even tell you how many times, and I knew I needed to be in there. It called me. And I don't even know how I got there actually, but you know, I think I think the universe just knew I needed to be there, and I found myself in the parking lot, and then I was like, oh crap, I'm going to take my first yoga class, you know, and never looked back, you know. So if it is entering your mind, like, gee, I should really try that, I should really get there, I should stop shoulding and just do it. Really.
awesome. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So Karen, as far as when you think about yoga as a practice, as a part of your life, what does yoga mean to you?
It's, oh my gosh, what does it mean to me? Oh, how do I even, how do you even answer that? Let's just say it's something that I do every day. If I'm not physically on my mat, I have been known to do yoga in front of the stove, in front of the microwave. When my clothes are a little too damp in the dryer, but I need to be there to get them out, I'm doing my warriors in front. I mean, I take it with me wherever I go, like no joke. And yeah, that's just what it is. It is, you know, my mat is a sacred space to me. And if my mat could talk, it could say many, many things about me, but it's like my secret keeper, you know. It's just something I adore now.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're
Have it.
really become a lifestyle for you.
Yeah.
And if you think back to times when you've struggled or felt resistance for something, how has yoga helped you?
How has it helped me? It's brought me back. And there were definite periods of time where I, you know, wasn't practicing every day. It was the only practice I got was when I went to the studio, you know, or I would watch a lot of yoga videos, but not do it. I was just watching somebody else do yoga. But eventually, you know, you find there's that pull and you find your way back, and it brings you back. I can't explain it. It just, getting back into the moving, reconnecting with the breath on the mat. It's just so calming. And I think also at the end of your practice, whatever surfaces for you at the end of your practice, I think is very helpful too. You know, a lot of times we're so quick to get up and off the mat. And I think we need to take time coming out of Shavasana to see what surfaces, you know, when you're in that rest and digest mode. And then when you first sit up, things might bubble to the surface, and it's important to sit and just listen to whatever it is, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And that's helpful. Yeah.
So much wisdom right there, as far as what we can learn from our own experiences. And when we come out from a stillness, basically, which for those of you who don't know what Shavasana is the last pose of a yoga class where you lie down on your back on a mat, and simply tune into your being. And some say that that's the most important pose of yoga.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And to know possibly that while you're in that hardest pose, there's a lot of fidgeting, right? There's a lot of maybe finger tapping or adjusting yourself on the mat because it feels maybe awkward to be still when life is buzzing around you, or you have a gazillion things to do. But for this 3 to 5 minutes of surrendering, and really giving yourself that time to let go, to watch your breath, to feel the points of your body on the earth, because you probably haven't dialed into yourself all day.
Right.
You to be that aware of what just simply laying down. You're not that aware, and to notice how you can go from that point of constantly fidgeting and am I doing this right? Right? Simply laying there, but as a newbie, am I doing this right? What's everybody else doing? And then you see yourself transform where that's the pose that you can't wait to have. You just look forward to that time. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah,
the evolvement of an anticipation. It becomes an anticipation at the end of the class, and it's just the best part of just coming there at the end of coming to class at the end of the day. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
And recognizing in yourself, wow, the first few times I did this, I could not lay still, and then seeing yourself transform to anticipating that final pose and that opportunity to be still. Yeah, for 3 minutes and out of your entire day, right? That's the gift you give to yourself.
So, in terms of yoga as a tool for change, when somebody going through a fork in their life or so, what has been your experience so far, either with yourself or with students, as far as how yoga can actually propel and support through change that somebody is going through?
Um, I can speak to a student who came to me. She was going through a difficult divorce and kind of lost her way through life. A mom, she had the kids at home, and she started taking yoga, but she was taking yoga for her back. And after a year of coming regularly and watching her um, transform herself through this difficult time, this difficult journey in her life, she came to class one day. The divorce was behind her. And she said, I had a moment in my life where I had the opportunity to date again. And I listened to my breath. I listened to my intuition. For once in my life, I dialed in. I paid attention to the energy and realized the idea I'm ready for, but not that particular individual. And she said, I can tell you before taking yoga a year ago, I might have felt like because I was the suggestion was there to date again, I might have jumped on it because I figured that was something I'm supposed to do, right? I've got 2 boys to support. I need to bring a family unit back together. And she's noticed her practice is now off the mat too.
Yeah, beautiful. So
Yeah.
good. So good. So, Karen, I'd like to ask you one question at the end here. We're wrapping up this conversation. What is one thing that you live by?
One thing that I live by. Oh, I don't know if it's the answer you're looking for, but I was going to say humor. I think everybody needs to laugh every day. Don't take yourself so darn seriously, right? And I think there's also a light in each of us. And when you take the time to polish your light, it shines even brighter, to the point where it may just reflect off the people around you, you know? So polish your light and shine, for sure.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
So my last question is, where can we connect and learn more about you?
Well, well, I guess for yoga, I am on Community Yoga Now on Facebook.
Great.
And you can always message me through there.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Karen. This has been a great conversation with you about yoga, about life, about change. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Namaste.
Namaste.